Hello, hello. How are ya?
I am fantastic, Joe. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too. Thanks so much coming to my show.
It's my great pleasure. I think we do something very important for people of all ages. So let's do our thing.
Thank you so much. You're so busy schedule. I know you have another schedule right after me.
Yeah.
So let's get going. So
Okay.
can you introduce my followers who you are, please?
Yes, yes. So thank you, listeners. It's a real pleasure to be here with Joe, Trainer Joe. I have great respect for him. My name is Tosca Reno. I am the founder of the Eat Clean revolution that took the world by storm about 20 years ago. I published my first book in 2012. It was an international success. I wrote 17 more books and became a New York Times bestselling author. Had a series of incredible magazine covers, my own television show, and I'm blessed with an incredible audience that has followed me through thick and thin. So I've had an incredible ride, and it's all really based on fitness and wellness.
Amazing, amazing. So, I know you are like keep busier this COVID, and then you have like a amazing project coming up. We're gonna talk about soon. But what's your morning routine like? You're so busy schedule.
Oh my gosh. Well, there are certain non-negotiables, and I often tell my clients, Joe, that PMS stands for please more structure. And so I like to have a very hard and fast morning routine because I feel that I can be better, not only as a person, but as a leader if I do that. So, morning routine. First things first, I drink water before my feet even hit the ground. I have to still be in bed. I reach over, I grab my water, and I hydrate right away, anywhere from 500 mils to 1,000. So that'd be one or two of these. And that to me is an incredibly important piece of wellness because we all are so dehydrated. Anyway, then I move on to a meditation, which I often have geared up on my phone. I just put my earbuds in, and it's a crucial part of my day. So, hydration, meditation. Then I journal. So I call that piece creation. I want to journal what I have picked up, messages out of my meditation. After that, I'll do a little bit of reading to feed my brain. And the next piece is exercise, another non-negotiable, because even at my age now of 62, I want to be the strongest example of myself possible. So, and it just makes me feel better. It's not just about my biceps, it's really about my brain. So those are non-negotiables. And then nourishment, I eat clean, I have a meal. And those are non-negotiables. Those are in my day. It doesn't matter what is coming up for me. I'm going to do that.
So, okay, so what's your training style? How many times a week do you train, and then how long you train?
You know, as I have gotten the blessing of age, I have learned to be more deliberate and efficient in my training. It used to be that I would hit the gym and I would spend a couple of hours a day when I had the luxury of time, but I don't. My life is busy. My work is busy. I also have a robust family life, and so I have learned to really focus on what I call high value exercise. And so I look to train about 5 days a week. And those sessions may only be 20 to 45 minutes, but I am putting out, I am focused. My mind is on the muscle, and I focus only on high value exercise because I want to get the best results in the shortest amount of time.
Amazing. How about the trampoline?
Yes, you and I had a great meeting about the rebounder. So this is leads perfectly into what I'm talking about when I say high value exercise. A lot of people don't really know what that means, but high value exercise is exactly what I was trying to focus on for my workouts, which is the greatest amount of physical demand, the greatest amount of cardiovascular demand in the shortest amount of time. So you want to really stimulate the metabolic fat burning process in your body by activating the biggest muscle groups and all your muscle tissues. So there's only 3 ways to do high value exercise. You can train with weights underwater, not very convenient for most of us. You can train on a rebounder, which is fantastic. And Joe, you know the value of that. And I've been doing this now for 15 years. And you can train with kettlebells. And when you choose the rebounder and the kettlebells, which are more practical on dry land, that's when you're going to get high value exercise, because you're putting a greater demand on a greater number of muscle groups along with your cardiovascular heart lung engine. And it's all going to come together for you really fast.
Wow. So you like rebounder and trampoline. What's your favorite brand?
You know, my favorite one is the one that I believe I shared with you, which is the Cellerciser. The reason why I like that particular one is because it has metal springs, and the metal springs will keep your rebounding mat, the trampoline mat, firmer yet more gentle for you. Whereas if you're using a trampoline with bungee cords, the bungee cords have a habit of, through friction, heating up with repeated movement. And so what can happen is those cords stretch, and then you can hit the floor underneath you and have an ankle injury. And that's happened to me. So I have tested the difference, and I really prefer the Cellerciser for that reason.
Yeah, amazing. I love that too. And then now let's do nutrition. You are like I went to your nutrition seminar, right?
Yes.
I learned so much because I did like some bodybuilding before my I was like like plain like boring food, right? And then so because I didn't want to make myself like I thought before like spoiled, right? If you do a lot of things and then you become spoiled. But actually your recipe, everyone should look at your recipe. So healthy and a lot of variety, right?
Yes, yes.
So what's your nutrition like?
My nutrition, the other thing that happens as you have the grace of aging is that you learn what works for you. And that's part of our wellness journey, is to know what foods work for you best, along with exercise, etc. And because we are all biologically unique, that means that none of us are the same. And so certain things aren't going to work for you, certain things will work for others. So my basic nutrition plan is based firmly on eating clean, which is founded in eating whole, nutrient dense, properly prepared, well-sourced foods. So the more whole they are, the more clean they are, the less processed and refined they are, the better. And I work on roughly on a macronutrient breakdown of about 30, 30, 40. So it's 30% fat, 30% protein, and 40% complex carbohydrates from fruits, grain. Now, I break that 40% down, though, into 20% greens, a lot of greens, kale, broccoli, salads, lettuces, herbs, lots and lots of herbs. And then the other 20% is mixed between fruits, dairy, and grains. But the grains have to be properly prepared. They have to be soaked, fermented first. And then even for me, I've been noticing that I prefer as much as 35% fat in my diet, a lot of which I get from coconut oil, avocados, olive oil, nut butters, seed butters. And for me, why that works is because my brain just works better when I have a little more fat. And I can still keep lean. I still have abdominal definition. So, and it satisfies me more.
Yeah, you're like I see your Facebook, and even by looking today, you look better than last time we had a meeting. No, seriously, like I really respect that, because as I'm getting old, I'm sorry, like as I getting older, it's a lot harder to maintain than 10 years ago, 5 years ago. But like, wow, like I can tell you put lots of hard work, and then your priority, and then I really thank you to being really good, like a model for our industry.
Thank you. Well, Joe, I think for anyone listening today who thinks that it's beyond them to be able to regain or even start to build some sort of wellness, there are so many practical things we can do right now, starting with the very first thing I mentioned, which is your hydration. It's still the #1 nutritional deficiency in North America. Simply getting enough water is difficult for most people, and yet there is nothing cheaper than getting clean water in your body and really striving to put 3 liters in. And then the other thing is, you and I we're so committed to our fitness, but for someone who's just beginning, that can feel very intimidating. So just to move yourself, to walk for 30 minutes a day, and to have faith in the process that your body responds quickly. And then that may entice you to continue on with your exercise. So don't feel like it's too late now, because Joe and I'm sure we're 10 years older than we were when we first met, and I'm at 62. So I feel like I'm going to keep going. And I posted a picture this week of myself, abs out, jog bra on. I wasn't covering myself up, and I'm proud of the fact that at my age I have stuck to my commitment to be well, and that's possible for all of you. It's not just me, it's for all of you as well.
Yeah, that's right. So then you have a new project coming up, right?
Yeah, I do.
So yeah, let's share about that. What is that?
Joe, I'm so excited. In September of this year, I will be featured on the cover of Women's World magazine. I was very, very excited to have a cover shoot with them in June. Of course, I had to get myself tight for that. Had to go get bootleg hair done because, of course, we've been in lockdown for 250 days. I think today is our first day open, and so I had to go get my hair done and all that. But the interesting thing was, I was actually stunned by this synchronicity and this moment in history for me, where I remembered that my very first cover shoot was done when I was 42, and I was featured on Oxygen magazine in a jog bra and shorts, so tummy out, abs, etc. And here I was at the age 62 having another cover shoot, and wouldn't you know it, the stylist only chose crop tops. And I thought, oh my gosh, are we really doing this? Does this woman realize I'm 62? But I'm very happy with the way the cover looks. I'm very happy with how I was able to get my body tight, and also a reasonable representation of what's possible for a woman my age. So I'm very excited about that. And the big question about, so I'm going to be the cover story and also the centerfold, I will be featuring several stories about people who have had incredible success by following my Strike Sugar program. Because Joe, that's where I put everyone when they first come to me. Everyone has to do at least 4 weeks of Strike Sugar, and people get their lives back. It is stunning what that can do for you. So I'm very excited about that.
Wow, amazing. Congratulations. And then, most people finish their career 42.
I know.
But your background is not actually fitness industry, right? What
No.
was your first, your profession?
Initially I was, first of all, I was a pharmaceutical sales representative. So with my science background, then I was doing interior design because I'm very creative. And then I was a teacher. So, but as one of my favorite people who has the podcast, Join Up Dots, says, it is the connecting of the dots that brings you to the place you are now. So all of my work has informed me as to who I am today, and all of my experiences as well. So yeah. Well, it's fun.
Yeah, you know what, you look seriously amazing, better than 22.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Congratulations to you. But it's world right now, they need to be healthy, right?
Well, We do. And one of the things, if I may share a little secret, one of the things that I believe strongly in, because Joe, you know, I hand it to you, I bow down to your dedication to fitness, and I know that's your wheelhouse and you love it. And me, it's nutrition, because I believe 80% nutrition, 10% training, 10% genetics. Each of them incredibly important, but we have to eat all day long, so we got to figure it out. And so one of the things that I am doing now is I make my own bone broth, which is a traditional food that, if you make it correctly, namely with a lot of, and I have a good recipe for this, but you know, you need good parts. You need skin, you need all the joints, bones, all of that stuff. You will be feeding your body with highly dense nutrition, particularly collagen, that is powerfully healing for the skin, so that you make good quality flesh, and also healing for the gut, healing for the brain. And I believe it turns back the clock on aging in your favor. So, and I drink about 6 to 8 ounces of warm bone broth that I've made myself before every meal, because it enhances digestion and absorption of nutrients. And I think that's part of it.
Amazing. I love that too. I want to, you know, balance out my methionine and then glycine balance.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do that. So how about supplement?
Well, you know, I used to be supplement neutral, meaning I didn't really care much as long as the product was clean. But then I began to explore deeply the whole field of supplementation. And you know, Joe, I don't know about you, but the supplementation world has gone crazy, and we need to be so careful what we choose for supplementation. So some years ago, I was invited to go down and visit a company who has a massive science campus in the United States, because they wanted to have me work with them, represent them. And I said, you know, I'm going to do this on my own dime. They wanted to pay, but I did this on my own dime. I wanted to go down, explore, you know, what are these supplements? Do they work? Do they actually get into the cell? Do they actually make a difference? Is this better for me, or am I just creating more strain on my body and creating very expensive urine? Because, you know, Joe, many supplements are just not good. And what I've done is I've discovered a company that is very heavily founded in the science of epigenetics, meaning you can override the genetic expression that you were given at birth. Namely, you can reverse aging. You know, if you have certain medical issues, you can override some of this through solid nutrition. And so I have found that there are supplements that I don't miss a day taking. But I also know that these particular supplements are able to actually penetrate into the cell and do the job that they're supposed to do. So there's a role for supplementation, but I think the buyer needs to be very responsible about what they're choosing to consume. So for myself, you can reach out to me at toscareno.com or on any of my social media platforms, Tosca Reno or Eat Clean Diet, and I will answer questions about supplementation for you. But currently, I take a nanoized form of vitamins, and I also take some supplemental collagen, but I'm taking a collagen that is brand new. The collagen I'm taking is going to break the collagen industry, because right now, most collagen that people are taking is not able to penetrate into the cell itself, because collagen is the biggest fiber in the body. It's like a rope that's twisted around, and it's very thick, and that has to be broken apart, and then it has to be chopped into pieces in order for it to go into the cell. And no company has done that except for the collagen that I'm taking. I also happen to represent that company now, so
Wow,
yeah.
amazing. How about magnesium and the vitamin D?
Well, you know, if you talked about vitamin D, the sun vitamin.
Wintertime.
Well, you know what? Yes, and also in the summer, there's a role, and particularly when it comes to addressing our immune system and the fact that we are north You know, we are a northern country. Even like you've noticed this week, we've had very little sun, and a lot of us spend a lot of time indoors, especially with the quarantine. There's a role for vitamin D that is greater than it's ever been. Because when we take a good quality vitamin D supplement, which I do, we can reduce all cause incidence of disease. So all kinds of diseases, you can reduce the severity and or the incidence of it, but you can reduce all cause symptoms. So say you had a cold and you were taking vitamin D, it will reduce the severity of that cold and the duration of it. So you have a better chance of fighting it more quickly. Vitamin D is that mystery vitamin that most people have abused and forgotten. Now, one caveat is you have to take a vitamin D that is in an oily format, because vitamin D is a fat soluble vitamin. You can't drink this in water. It has to be a substance that is oily, fatty. And most good vitamin Ds need to be stored in the refrigerator once you've opened them. So that's a caveat for you.
Yeah, thank you. So, and then how about the high quality magnesium? You use it?
I do use magnesium, and that is actually in the vitamin formula that I take. So I mentioned to you that these particular vitamins are formulated so that they're in a nano form, which is the smallest particle that can enter into the cell membrane. And yes, so there's magnesium in that. And my mineral, I went to go get a bone density scan not too long ago, and I was telling the technician, "Oh, I'm so concerned because I want to make sure that my bones are strong." And she said, "Okay, well, let's start with the list of medications you take." And I said, "Oh, I don't take any." And she said, "Wait, what?" And I said, "I don't take any." And she said, "Oh my God, normally I spend 20 minutes writing down all the things that people are taking for their pains and their ills and their aches." And I said, "Well, it's going to be a short conversation." And then I said, "Yeah, because my main worry is to get enough minerals, because I know that as we get older, what we have is the tendency to fall and break our hip." And she said, "No." And I said, "What? That's what I understood." And she said, "No. What happens is, through poor diet and lack of exercise, Joe, the bones break inside first, and then you fall. So the bones become, through sugar and through lack of resistance training, the bones become like sponge. They can't hold you up anymore. And so at a given point inside, the hip just goes, and then you fall. But it's not the other way around. You fall and the hip breaks, then you fall. And that just, wow, it just drove home for me how important it is to keep doing the work we do, Joe, because most people don't know this.
Yeah, so you did a bone scan, so you got the report your bone is 22-year-old, right?
I'm like yes, I'm like a 22-year-old, not only in my bones, but in my cardiovascular fitness. My fitness age is 22.
Yeah, so it's not come out yet. I did Mohegan before you last show. Like, yeah, like you guys like keep getting better, like amazing. Like
That's the gift of aging. You learn a lot, right? I mean, you just do things smarter.
yeah, I said this on to Mohegan, but I'm gonna say to you too, when I become your age, I want to be like that too. Like really, I want to be
You
healthy.
will.
Like, yeah,
You will. Yeah.
I try. I really try, because it's how hard this is. You need to, maintain, right?
But I believe the key, Joe, is that your mind is open. It's very, very difficult to teach someone not to eat sugar who is a closed-minded individual gobbling sugar and drinking soda all day long. Your mind is open. When your mind is open, you can receive this information and really make powerful changes within yourself.
And anyone can do it, right?
Anyone, right? It's not just, people would look at you, Joe, and say, "Oh my God, I'll never get there. He's got special genes." My sister says that to me. My sister's older than me. She's like, "Yeah, you got the genes." No. What we did is we had an open mind, and we said, "No, this is important. I want to do this. I'm going to learn it. I'm going to be passionate about it. I'm going to make no excuses." That's the difference.
Yeah. So now, how to monitor your health?
Oh,
Like blood work or and stuff. So what do you do?
Well, so one of the key things for me is quality of sleep. I know that my health is good and solid when I can go to bed and I can fall asleep instantly and have a good 7-8 hours of sleep. And that for me has never been an issue, except for in that very dark period when my stepson died, and then Robert died, and then I was forced to bankrupt the publishing business that was really the house of all of my books. There was a very difficult period there, and that is why I took up with meditation. Another barometer for me in wellness is my ability to work out and recover. So if I do a 30 or 40 minute or longer high value exercise session, what's my recovery like? Then this is going to sound strange, but muscle quality, the flesh on my body. What is the, because the body has choices to make about the kind of protein it makes, the kind of muscle tissue or tissue it makes in your body, right? So you can have poor quality protein, therefore poor quality flesh. So what's the texture and tone of my skin? I think skin is a massive indicator of wellness. And if you're eating poor quality protein or not enough, which is typical of women, very typical of women, you will have poor quality flesh. So you'll have sagging skin, crepey skin, folding skin, cellulite flesh. And you can change all of that, because all of those things are problems of nutrition or problems of fat deposition. So you can change how that works in your body, making better quality proteins. And then other things that I'll go to my doctor for my physical, and I look at my blood panel that says, okay, how about your hormones? How about all of it, right? My blood. And I always come back with a score very high, because I'm like the standard for the day. There's no place to put me on most hospital records, because my blood is clean, my hormone panel is amazing, and I'm a postmenopausal woman, right? Even for me, during that change of life, I had no symptoms. Zero. And, hats off to our Asian sisters who go through the menopause experience as if it were just in another day in life. They don't call it an illness. And here in the United States and Canada, it is very much considered a disease. So I believe that my clean health has prevented me from suffering like that. And thank God. And then strangely, I'll go to the dentist, and the dentist will say, what are you doing to your teeth? I don't have anything to clean off. And I'll go to my hairstylist, and he'll say, look at all the hair you've got, right? There's no receding hairline. And he'll say, my stylist, I love him, at Fiorio in Toronto. And he'll say, my goodness, like, this is amazing hair. This is the hair of a 20-year-old, because women I see, you can see their scalp through their hair. They have receding hairline, and it's, that's all avoidable. The diet really makes the difference. So that's how I measure it. And my brain, that I can speak and think and create and fire off and have a discourse with you and answer your questions and be on the uptake. Yeah.
Amazing. So now my plan is, so far now, I think this path, I think I'm going to live till 90 to 120.
Yes.
So what's your expectation for your life? Longevity.
Oh, Joe, the journey I've been on, I recognize I've had a very good life, and then I've had a lot of really painful things to deal with. Losing Robert Kennedy and all of the things that happened after that, losing my stepson. I finally saw the wisdom there, Joe. And this is why emotional self-care is a big piece of what I teach now in my work. I saw the wisdom that those things happened for me, not to me, so that I want to be an outlier. I want to be a woman who remains relevant well into her later years. And my vision for my life is greater than the vision I've had in the past. In other words, I want to walk to the best version of myself possible, my future self, a future self that I imagine every day. And so I dream forward. I don't think backwards. Most people spend 95% of their time in the past. The past taught me, I took the lessons, but I am moving forward, and I think my best work is yet to come. So there will be more books. There will be far more ability for me to be a leader in a greater role and capacity as I go forward. And I want to be a little frightened, and I want to be a little audacious, but I want to be mostly of service, because every day I get up and I say, how can I be of service to the highest and best, to the people that I love and care for and my audience? And that's what I see.
Amazing, amazing. So in your knowledge and experience, what is the most important things for our quality and longevity of our life?
I think it all begins with mindset. Where your head goes, your body follows, right? And there's that quote, the thoughts you think become your actions, become your life, become your destiny. So it all begins with thought, which is why meditation is so, so very important for me, and journaling also. And so the key to longevity really is that you are in your presence, in the moment now. In other words, I'm talking with Joe now, right? I'm not on my phone texting. I'm not thinking about what's for dinner. I'm talking with you because I want to be fully present in the moment of now. So that's part of it. I believe longevity is also possible when you do what I preach, which is eating clean, getting the sugar out of your diet, living in balance, and putting yourself in nature as much as possible. Put yourself in the beautiful, clean waters of the lakes here in Canada. Immerse yourself, put yourself on the ground, put your hands in the earth, eat from the earth. Don't eat the earth, but eat the plants from the earth. And nourish yourself in a way that is not simply filling your stomach, but it's nourishing your body, filling the purpose or fulfilling the purpose of your body, right? All the things you need to be the strongest you possible. That's what I think.
Wow, amazing. So right now, and if you can meet 20 years old yourself, okay, use a time machine. So what kind of advice you will give yourself when you meet 20-year-old yourself?
So I'm going to be 82.
No, I'm sorry. So you are 62 today,
Yeah.
but you use a time machine to you can meet 20-year-old yourself, 20. Okay. So
Okay.
then, so you can say, oh, hey, Tosca, 20-year-old Tosca. So you want to give advice.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah. Kennedy said he will buy Microsoft.
thank you. Okay. So you want to know what I would say to my 20-year-old self? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So what I would say to her is, be not afraid. Don't listen to the programs and thoughts of other people who are trying to run your life. And never, never dim your light. Because Joe, I confess this, I have played small in my life. I have dimmed my own light because people were threatened by me. They were threatened by my energy, by my thoughts. And I thought in order to conform, I should just, okay, well, I'll play small. I'll put myself in a box. I'll turn the light down. I won't say too much. I'll just be over here in the corner. And Joe, that 20-year-old self needed to hear that she could be her, fully her, to stand in her power, because the greatness of what has to come is going to live inside of you until it comes out. And if you don't out it, you're going to suffer terribly. So I'm finally catching up.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
I'm so glad to see you like exactly look or even better than your Facebook photo. Seriously, like because a lot of people I see them at real people and Facebook photo is a lot of different.
I know. It's so true, isn't it? I know. But here we are. We have to do the Zoom thing, and that's how it is. And
yeah, amazing. So now, how has a failure or apparent failure set you up for later success? Do you have a favorite failure of yours?
Well, nobody has a favorite failure, but
For
so
me, like a knee surgery.
Yeah. Okay. I understand. Yes. Because there are lessons there. Yes. Well, as I mentioned, I went through a very, very challenging 10-year period, starting 2011 when I lost my stepson. 2012, I lost Robert Kennedy suddenly to cancer, the love of my life, my husband. In 2013, I was forced to bankrupt his publishing business, and I lost control of all my books. And that was a shame for me. It was shame inducing, even though it wasn't my business particularly. It felt like shame. In 2014, I was nearly bankrupt myself. I had nothing left of my old life. And in 2014, also, I published a book that failed. It was a commercial failure. So, you know, I certainly am familiar with what failure is. And I believe that all of these things happen to me for a reason. While I might not have been able to see the reason at the moment, it took me some time. And it also took me some learning some new skills to help me understand why those things needed to happen. So those failures were, you know how it is, Joe, our toughest coaches are our critics. And our toughest coaches in life are our difficult situations. So you make the choice. You're either going to pick your feet up and learn and be relevant and be different, or you continue in victim mode. And I choose to be victor. So those lessons have informed me. And I know that I am a better leader today. And I fully anticipate being even better 5 years from now.
Wow, amazing. So what if one of the best or most worthwhile investments you've ever made? Could be an investment of money or time or energy.
It was the day that I picked up my weights for the first time in a gym. Best investment of my life. To understand the power, wow, of, you know, what weightlifting, what training can do to totally transform your mind and your body. I don't think I have enough words, but I can feel it in my body. It floods me every time, because when I go into the gym, I know what's going to happen in there. I have this time for me when I have a conversation with my body, with myself, and I know that I'm a better person as a result. And to me, the greatest invitation for your listeners, anybody who's sitting back, is not to hold back, because that truly is the best investment. And when I know that I'm committed to gym time training, it's not vanity. It's not trivial. I am part of something greater. I am part of building a greater, stronger self. And I want to show that to others. So that, to me, that first time I picked up my dumbbells, good Lord, it was game on.
Amazing. So when was it? Your age?
Oh my gosh. It was 1999. How old was I then? I have to do the math on that. 1999.
22 years ago. So
Yeah,
that's
so 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're 40.
Oh, no, so pardon me, 20 years ago, exactly. Yes, which is pretty much the duration of my career. And then, you know, I found myself a couple of years later, I was competing on stage, in a bodybuilding show, and placed, which is very difficult to do. And then shot my first ever Oxygen cover at the age of 42. So that was just a couple of years later. And Oxygen models up to that point had been 20-year-olds, and I was 42. So it opened the door for women of all ages to embrace fitness as a very strong element of their personal self-care.
Yeah, amazing. So what are the top 3 things you learned past 2 years?
Oh my gosh. Meditation. Life happens for me, not to me. And forgiveness.
Wow.
Because I mentioned, 95% of us live 95% in the past. Forgiveness, if you don't give it, you're anchored in the past. And so forgiveness is your freedom. It's your liberation from whatever is pinning you down. And I had to come to a place, took some work, introspection, personal development, but I came to a place where ultimately I could forgive. And I could see that there's still so much life for me.
Wow. You know what? Like, I know you are so busy. If someone wants to work with you, so how to work with you?
Yeah. Well, so Joe, I've been really enjoying my group coaching sessions. So I offer that. They're 12-week sessions where I essentially teach those 3 pillars of wellness, which is eating clean, exercise, and emotional self-care. And the other way to do it is one-on-one coaching. So some people just have very specific goals that they want to get honed in super razor fast. And one thing I know for sure, probably as you do, Joe, is I know how to get results because I've done the work on myself. I know the way to get it. So I know that I can deliver that to you. And I'm very, very blessed to be able to offer those kinds of training, which is more intimate. And then also I have my online programs, which in my Clean Living Facebook group, when people are part of the online programs, they head on over to the Clean Living Facebook group. And it is a blast. I mean, I'm getting hundreds of new followers a day because I'm doing my Strike Sugar program live. I'm doing Fit Commit live. I'm doing the Menopause Method live. We're having fun. And that connection is just solid and beautiful.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
So what is one thing you practice, but other health and wellness professional, they don't do or they don't practice, you think they should practice?
So I believe the missing piece is that third element of wellness, which is emotional self-care. And in my group coaching, I've worked now with hundreds of clients where they have realized they were surprised by this, that the emotional piece is the missing piece. And it's actually, when your emotions are out of whack and you're depressed and sad and anxious, that's when you're getting yourself into trouble. That's when you're neglecting yourself, overeating, not working, not moving. So I address that component. We work on the emotional self-care. We work on you and why you got there in the first place. And then we move you through those other elements. So I know that that's different. I know that that's very powerful. And you know how that happened for me is CanFit Pro. I was signed up to do some presentations, as you know, a couple of years ago. And they said, well, so could you do something new? Can you present something new? And I went, okay, the 3 E's of wellness. And boom, there it was.
Amazing. So now, final question. What's your plan for the next 6 months to 2 years?
Oh, wow. Okay. So I've written a new program, so I'm getting that off the ground. I'm rebuilding my website. I've hired a team of badass women who are going to take me to the top. We're going to get there together. I'm going to grow my audience. I'm going to have I already have 1 million followers, but we're going to grow it again. I want to write my next book, so that's on the table as well. I'm going for it.
Respect.
Same to you, Joe. Same to you.
Wow, so amazing. Like, you know exactly what you want to do. You have a full vision, future, energy, like you busy and you do everything. Like, I'm become humbling here.
You're a delight, Joe. And you've been so kind to give me all these compliments about how I look, but you too, you look amazing. I can see your commitment and dedication to your wellness. I can see it in your beautiful soul, your genuine manner, and obviously you're super strong and fit. God bless. I see it.
Yeah. Thank you so much to have a time with me.
Thank
and
you.
then all the best for you. And then I hope I can see you in person very soon.
That'd be nice. Yeah, we will. Yes. And so if any of your listeners would like to reach out to me, they can always find me at toscareno.com. And you can see me on my social media platforms, which is Tosca Reno or the Eat Clean Diet.
Thank you so much. All right.
Thanks
Thank
for
you so
having me, Joe. Thank you.
Thank you.